I say, look, guys, don't you just have a dog that can do this? My National Lampoon's Vegas vacation started with a drive with Brian Fuller's truck and trailer for Fuller Hot Rods to Las Vegas for my second SEMA. This was with the Z06, got it out in Vegas, and I decided to hang out with my friends and go to the Hard Rock Hotel Halloween party. Pretty much a very exclusive Halloween party that they have at the Hard Rock Hotel. And you usually for the VIP floor, you have to, these tickets are reserved well in advance. But we decided, me and my friends who had VIP tickets, decided to sneak me in, which we were able to get in, and chill in the VIP of the Hard Rock Hotel Halloween costume party. This is a crazy costume party. And it was probably definitely the biggest party that I've been to. There were layers, different floors on the party, and the floor is the VIP area. There are all kind of different shows, very provocative shows going on stage, and it's a lot of fun. So needless to say, we hung out all night drinking in Vegas, saw some celebrities all night. We go to the room and the end of the night, and I'm thinking I got to be up in the morning to set up our entire SEMA booth. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm very hungover. I'm gonna get 2 hours of sleep. So I do that. I go into the convention center. We go setting up for Brian Fuller's booth. So we got some motorcycles to set up. I'm setting up the Corvette outside of the corridor. And so we're rolling in big tables that are work tables that have the motorcycle frames welded to them. So these are the tables that the guys build the motorcycle on. They're usually a hydraulic table. So we're sitting this table down in the convention center, and in my hungover state, I managed to sit the table down and let the hydraulic down onto my finger, in which I have a nice long scar from tip to tip on this finger now, from where I almost cut the tip of it off when this motorcycle and 300 or 400 pound table came down on my finger and I had to snatch it out. So I was then rushed to the hospital from the convention center, where I sat for 2 hours with my finger as swollen as a fist. They treated it, got a bunch of stitches, wrapped it up, then went back to the convention center, set up an entire display, worked that whole weekend, and had a really good show. That usually is something that happens to me. There's always something crazy that happens before a very important show. So we pack all the cars up, and we're taking the cars and the motorcycles from Las Vegas to Boulder, Colorado to do a photo shoot with the motorcycles. Now, I've been gone from Atlanta for 6 days at this point. We drove all the way across the country, maybe even longer. And now we're driving to Boulder. So by the time we get in Boulder, I'm a bit done with car shows. So I decide I'm going to pull the vet off the trailer. I'm not going to be a team player. I'm not going to stick around and shoot these motorcycles. I'm going to go home. I'm taking my vet. I'm going home. So I proceed to take the 24-hour drive from Boulder to Atlanta in a Z06. This was definitely the most comfortable drive in any sports car I've ever been in. That magnetic suspension is a real thing. I was able to drive this car for hours and hours and get great gas mileage and be comfortable. But in Kansas, while I was doing a smidge above the speed limit, my Calibre K40 went off and tells me that I have been pinged by radar in the front. And as I passed by a Kansas state trooper sitting sideways in the median with a car next to me actually doing the same speed, I get pinged again from my radar. It tells me he hit me in the rear. So I look and I see him coming out. Now I have a radar/jammer, and it's invisible in the car, which I think in Kansas is probably illegal. But nonetheless, I get pulled over by the trooper, and very nice guy comes up to the car, and he tells me he's got me doing 94, I think, in a 70 or 65 or whatever. And I tell him, well, I don't think that's possible because, I was just passing the car, maybe 80, but definitely not 94. And of course, I asked him, well, can I see it on your radar? And at which time he told me he didn't have it. Maybe he clocked the car next to me or something, he said. But whatever the reason was, it's not on my dash. I said, okay, well, I'm just gonna just go along with whatever he says, but you don't have the speed, so I don't know what you're pulling me over for. But he proceeds to get me out of the car, ask me all the questions. Where are you coming from? Tell him I unloaded the car. I brought it from Las Vegas from a car show, big car show. I've got car show materials inside the car all over the place. There's food, there's goodie bags in the back, all from SEMA. You know, everything that says I've been road tripping for 2 weeks. So he asked, can he search my bags and search the car? And I'm not one to let law enforcement not do their job. So I let him go ahead and search the car. I got nothing to hide. And most of the time, cops just want to take a look at a cool car like this. So he proceeds to search my bags, didn't find anything. Then he gets out his tools. He starts to put the gyroscope or whatever it is inside my custom exhaust, and so that he can see inside the exhaust. When he was under the car, he was asking all the questions about the insulation and, you know, why is there dynamat and, you know, heat insulation on the bottom of the car. And he can also see it when he checked my bags inside the car in the trunk. And so I told him, you know, vents catch on fire. It's because they hold a lot of heat in certain places. So this is all to deflect heat. I think he didn't believe that because he checked and poked and prodded on my car for 40 minutes on the side of a Kansas highway where cars were just whooshing by us. So after about 30 minutes, he checked in my exhaust, in the car, in everything. And then he says, well, me and my supervisor want to take you down just to the next exit. Coincidentally, just at the next exit is where our headquarters and parking station is, where we can actually kind of search the car a bit better because I'm not sure what all this insulation is in the car. And I said, look, guys, don't you just have a dog that can do this? And I think that I probably shouldn't have said that because I think that they took that as a challenge to find something in my car. So they said, well, no, we don't have a dog, or the dog is busy, but now you definitely can come to our headquarters and let us search the car. So I said, okay, guys, come on, let's go for a ride. I jump in the vet, go down to the next exit. I pull it into their yard, and it's right off the exit. Pull it into their yard, and there's already 2 troopers there already. I got 2 troopers with me, 2 troopers here. They proceed to take the entire rear part of my car apart, which is my custom rear diffuser off. I open my trunk, all the bags out, my carpet up, so that they can check all the dynamat and see exactly what all of this is. So after 30 or 40 minutes of chit-chatting about cars with State Trooper 1 and answering questions about the Corvette project with State Trooper 2 and with State Trooper 3 up under the car with lights and scopes and everything, they finally finish and say, okay, well, there's nothing. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Can we put the car back together now? So then we spend 30 minutes screwing in Allen keys and putting my diffuser back on and making sure they didn't scratch anything and everything's okay. And really, I think they just wanted to look at the car. I think they really just wanted to ask a bunch of questions about the car and take it apart and just really see what all that custom stuff was. Kudos to the Kansas State Troopers. You guys are very thorough, and I appreciate it. It was a good hour break from my long drive and from the deadness of the Kansas highway. So, you know, and they just let me on my way, and I just pressed on the highway all the way through 4th gear so they could hear me roar on out. And, you know, that was it. And that was my Vegas vacation. And I did make it back home to Atlanta in 28 hours. So that was with 1 4-hour stop for sleep. So pretty good numbers.
Dream Car Exchange is our sponsor for the VINwiki channel this month, and we are having a VINwiki Dream Car Exchange car flipping contest. It is live now on their site. We've got 10 cars, 10 players, and 10 charities that the profits go to. So we're going to find out who the best car flipper of VINwiki is, and you guys are going to get to own some amazing cars. So head on over to dreamcarexchange.com, register to bid early, bid often, and win your dream car at Dream Car Exchange.